If you landed on this video, you want more traffic. Well, you're in the perfect place. Here at Siege Media, we do a lot of exactly that for our clients. Specific to an SEO point of view, we've been lucky enough to deliver many increases of just this number, 250,000 plus, in the 10 plus years we've been in business. So in this video, we're gonna break down that end-to-end playbook and also give you the resources to dig deeper should you want to on each of these elements. So if you want to make sure you stay on top of all the latest and greatest in a content marketing standpoint, make sure you jam that notification bell, give us a subscribe, a thumbs up, and we'll see you in future videos. So the first recommendation we believe to actually increase your website traffic by this number is actually ignore this post until you've reached product market fit. So what we mean by that is product market fit is a critical part of this strategy, in that a lot of the content creation you'll do, you'll know what is relevant to you and what's not. And also an additional element that's huge about that is you'll generate a lot of passive links, and links generally when you do have product market fit. That means people like your product, it's strong, people are referencing it naturally. That's all gonna make an impact on being able to deliver results faster in this framework. So that's generally Series A plus for startups. If you're bootstrapped, that can mean something differently, but Series A is kind of a good spot because you've shown traction. You also have budding authority already. It allows you to see some momentum from search in a faster fashion. The next step is something we call keyword opposition benefit analysis. So we have a full video on this and blog post, which you can see linked above and also in the comments or wherever you may be viewing this post. But it is a end-to-end process that's super critical, effectively allowing you to rank for things quickly by emphasizing low difficulty topics, and then also aligning against traffic value to make sure they align and you're actually seeing value on the way up to more valuable topics. This is critical for someone starting early because you can rank for things that are not as high difficulty and allows you to still keep the lights on as you do that. So that would be the first part, is generally do deep research in your vertical, 100 to 200 topics, get that data to build a keyword opposition and benefit number. That will sequence into a project plan that will allow you to scope each of those topics. You'll ask yourself, do I need to spend 20 hours on this topic or do I need to spend 100? That will change your score and allow you to resort those topics to be most effective over time. An important element of the project plan is also passive link topics. So our goal with this process is to allow you to rank for things without having to do manual outreach. So a huge part of that, one is the product market fit we already talked about, but the next is to prioritize passive link topics. So what are passive link topics? Every industry is a little different, but you want to look at the top search results and see how many links are being generated to those topics on average, especially if they're top funnel. And if you see several results that are like you, that have 300 plus links, that's a very strong chance that they're generating those through search, and you as well can do that if you can rank for them. Especially if they're low difficulty, low search volume, you'll be able to hopefully rank for those over time. So some examples are statistics posts, trends posts, what is topics where people are taking the definition. The general framework is if someone is grabbing something to reference and cite on their website, there's probably high passive link intent. Another example, or actually the reverse end of that, are calculators and interactives. These are very often, you can't put them on your website at all, so you have to link to something that will also generate a lot of links. If you can rank for those early and you know you have the authority based on the difficulty and what you're seeing in topics and the kind of passive link intense topics they are, that's worth doing very early in the project plan. Some other variables to consider in this project plan phase are, can you batch topics together? How authoritative are you? So if you're low authority, you'll want to filter out topics that are not as relevant. What you're going to promote, what is going to be interesting on your content calendar, difficulty to write the content. If you're kind of getting to know an industry, we generally suggest starting with beginner level topics up front and laddering up as you go. All these things kind of tie together. We generally suggest digging in deeper on this subject on our SEO content strategy project plan video and blog post. You can also find that in the comments and link above as well. That will kind of give you the game plan to start ranking and do well from an end-to-end standpoint. From there, you want to build amazing content. So that's the hard part. The other data part is still difficult to do well, but now you got to create amazing content that makes sense for your industry. From our best practice standpoint, here are some kind of good frameworks to consider. Using URLs that are short, our general suggestion is a single folder that's one word, such as blog, learn, SEO, and then exactly the keyword or primary keyword in your KOB sheet to rank for things overall. Have high fidelity content types. So we are big believers at design at Siege, but it could be video, it could be animation, it could be interactives. All those things can kind of differentiate your content and make it better than competitors. Make better titles. We have a full post on this as well, on how to write compelling titles, on how to write SEO titles that rank. Some general best practices is make them short, make them punchy. We have a keyword framework called Brave that will show on this video as well, that breaks down each of the main elements you can leverage to drive more clicks, and definitely suggest seeing that full video as well. So the first thing you want to do is use the PPP formula. So we have a post all on blog introductions on our website and a great video as well. But effectively what this is preview proof benefit. It creates a hook up front. Another way of framing this is AIDA, attention, interest, desire, action. But you want to have a punchy first sentence that really grabs the reader's attention. But you can also do this through the framework of preview proof benefit. What this is doing is saying what users expect to see up front. You also give them proof of why you're credible. So for example, in this video, we shared why we're credible, hopefully for watching this, because we do this a lot. And then you also share the benefit of what they're gonna get from the post in reading that differentiates you. So that's a good qualification to get people stuck into your posts and keep reading, because that's such an important section of the site. Make the content simple and also easy to read. So you wanna have a good flesh readability score. So this is effectively how easy it is for people to read. Or generally, if it can be understood by 13 to 15-year-olds, you're doing a good job. It used to be thought of that if you write big words, you're somehow smart. Ironically, you use big words, that's a sign that you're ostracizing some of the audience, and that's not a good thing. So you want to write simply and also have the font size be large. We generally recommend 16 pixels plus, sometimes 18 pixels. Make it dark font on a white background generally. Some people do gray font on white, and that will not be legible. That's not a good thing. Resize your images, your rich media that you have. Generally suggest getting everything below 100 kilobytes. You can make it even smaller than that on average for most blog posts, but you want to make your website and your posts overall small on average. Make the post scannable and structured. So our general best practice is not to have any large paragraphs. Use bullets, use ordered lists, use unordered lists, use high quality images every couple paragraphs. It should be a pleasure to read through. It should not be blocks of just text. This makes it more enjoyable on average to read, and it's going to perform better because of that. We also see generally tall images perform better. This allows people to create content on their website that does well. In general, just having rich media is always going to be good. Our only exception to this is not to have a gigantic hero for core web vitals. This can be useful to make sure that that largest contentful paint is not too large, and you can make a small image size that loads quickly on even on the slowest of internet's speeds, especially if that's relevant to your audience. Some other general best practices is make the overall column width not too wide. You want to be able to track to the next line and make that easy to do so. It's a common mistake we see when the font is too small and also the column width is too wide. That will not be a great thing for you in terms of overall quality and being able to rank well, because users will get exhausted tracking to the next post and you'll not be able to rank as well as you could be. So once you've got good content, you're ranking for everything, you'll want to make sure you also have good internal linking. I mean, really you're not ranking for anything yet if you're not doing good internal linking, but it's worth noting and some best practices here. Make sure all your content is 2 clicks from the homepage. Screaming Frog will allow you to see this quickly, but another way to effectively make this happen is make sure your blog or Learn Center or both are linked in your navigation. Even have popular posts linked in the navigation as well if possible. On those blog or Learn sections, make sure 15 plus posts are displayed. This gets more content closer to homepage, and then the next page clicked off that should have a similar design where it's 15 plus posts. And if you do that and a few different sections are linked, really most of your content that's important should be 2 clicks with a rare 1 or 2 that are 3 clicks. So you add that all up and you'll have some high performing rankings because all that internal linking will be happening. You'll have product market fit and you'll be doing well overall. So hopefully your project plan set you up for at least a year of doing this. We generally suggest updating this data once a year, but before you get to that, you'll want to think about content updates. So we have a full video that we recently released just on this subject that will give you the best practices. An overall high-level framework that will make sure you continue to grow would be to update your content once a year. Make sure you're checking for broken links. Make sure there's no data or content that clearly stands out as old. Really scan the content. If you want to take it further, we generally suggest updating 4 times a year with a smaller change rather than one big change at the end of the year. But incorporating updates as part of your process is a critical part to make your timestamps competitive and your content rank well. And then once you're kind of in a flow of that, you also want to update your KOB data and your project plan for the next year, really once a year. This will give you new data, search results will change, things will change. You'll want to incorporate content updates as part of that cycle. That will allow you to not kind of fight against attrition of traffic loss, because a clearest indicator of traffic loss that's a leading indicator is that a content piece is more than a year old. So get ahead of that, even if your content is ranking well. Rinse and repeat this process. Check out all of our posts on this subject, and you'll wrap it all together into an end-to-end strategy that will hopefully increase website traffic for you by 250,000 plus per month. So if you like this video, definitely check out all the resources we referenced. We touched all of these on a surface level, but you need to go a lot deeper to make sure you're implementing this in a high effective way at scale. I really appreciate you watching this. Make sure you hit that like button, jam the notification bell, and stay tuned for more content just like this.